Hey folks, before sunset, I'm going to show you how you could potentially live here for free in a very nice brand new place right on the shores of this lake here, this lake/wetlands area right here. I found this purely by happenstance the other day. We went out for a meal with friends, and this was a rental that the place had right across the street. Anyway, before the sun sets, we'll look at that. We'll go back first, though, and see how we started our day. We started out at a very unusual place for lunch where we came to monkey around with some bunnies. We've come to Funny Bunny. It's a place called Funny Bunny. Because they got real rabbits. They got rabbits you can play with and feed and stuff like that, but it's a cafe. We're going to have a spot of lunch. I'll show you around here. Not much to see, but they got some different kind of rabbits. Oh, the lamb just walked in. There's a lamb as well. He just walked into the restaurant. They had to lure the lamb out with the promise of food. He's hungry. I petted the lamb. He's got tiny little horns that are just starting to poke through, even at that young age. I'll show you what they have here. I've ordered a Vietnamese noodle soup. It's been a long time since I had a Vietnamese noodle soup. We'll see how that is. We'll see how legit that is. But we're going to a place this evening for dinner. That's why I'm just having something light for lunch. We're going to a place tonight for dinner, and they have a couple of the most unique rental arrangements I've ever seen in my life. One is a long-term rental, in lieu of a condo or in lieu of a house, and one is just like a pool villa, weekly or weekend, nightly or weekend rental. We'll look at both of them. Both of them are very unique. Plus, we're going to have dinner there as well. It's a really cool place, and we'll look at the bunnies. Right, Funny Bunny. Lots of people coming in just to have some fun with the rabbits. Well, I'll show you what happens here. So you come in, you're confronted with a little bit of a menu, and you have a couple choices. You can pay 50 baht just to play with the rabbits, or you can pay 100 baht and get to play with the rabbits and get a drink. You don't have to eat at all. But we decided we were going to eat, so we didn't pay anything to play with the rabbits. We just watched everybody else play with the rabbits and thought we would have a little lunch. The menu is different than what you'll find other places. It's not your same everyday average Thai food at all. Totally different. By wit, I'll show you the couple of things that we got. 2 dishes that we landed on. The first one here, they said it's a bolognese sauce. You get an omelet over rice there's ham and peas and all kind of stuff in there. But Lan really liked that one, so let her have that one. And then the Vietnamese noodle soup came out shortly thereafter, and I guess we'll just kind of share it all. But there it is. Not really maybe a true Vietnamese style noodle soup, but nice neck bones in there with pork falling off the bones, the vermicelli, a decent broth. So, okay. We'll both leave happy. As were the rabbits, but plenty of people showed up to feed the rabbits, so they're definitely not going hungry, and neither is the little baby goat that I mistakenly called a lamb. Anyway, that'll hold me over till this evening. This is one of the more interesting pool villa scenarios that I've ever seen. Usually you rent one big house and you got the pool and you're going to cook. You got the kitchen like behind me here. But this is different. This is all brand new for starters. But this is 7 individual houses. 7 individual houses. They're all different sizes. I'll show you. They're not all different sizes. There's 2 sizes. There's kind of a 1-bedroom for a couple, and then there's like a family room. But you got, I think, 2 of the family rooms and 4 of the couple type rooms. But anyway, it sleeps, I don't know how many, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beds, so up to I guess 16 people. But you can rent this whole thing, the whole compound, all the little houses, the pool, all these nice little areas. There's common areas between the houses like that, the whole big kitchen in the back, the pool deck, everything. You get the whole thing for a little over 10,000 a day. It's 12,000. I think it's 12,000 on weekdays and 13,000 on the weekends. So if you had 6 couples, it's $2
$2,000 a couple. And everybody's going to get their own house. And you're still going to have an extra house left over. Maybe put the kids in there for a little alone time, whatever it is. But it's very interesting. I don't know that I've ever seen a pool villa type scenario just like this. Like I said, it's usually one big house. I like this concept. It's not for everybody, but I know there's some groups out there that would just love this. Maybe you're coming into town for an event, and even if it's only 4 or 5 couples, instead of everybody getting a hotel room, boom, one shot, a little over 10,000 baht, and you get the whole place. Something to consider. But the other thing is, I think if it's an off night, you just want one of the little houses. Maybe you're just by yourself instead of getting a motel room. Just use this as like a motel. You can get one house for like 1,200 baht. But that gives you entitlement to the pool and the common area as well. So you don't have to have a whole group. You could stay here just on your lonesome for like 1,200 a night. And right at the end of the place here, I'm looking down at dead ends about a block from here. And that's a huge wetlands fishing lake. And we've been in there. We've been fishing in there. Lon's son caught a great big fish in there last year, which we took and got butchered and ate. But it's right there. So it's great for fishing. To get to the beach is about 3 minutes by motorbike or something like that. 2.5, 3 minutes by motorbike out to the road.
These are called Sunset Vista Rayong, Sunset Vista. Now, this is the pool villa half of Sunset Vista. There's the apartment or condo type half across the way. But and we're going to look at that next. But just in between are some random pool villas like this. They're not owned by the same lady. They're not affiliated. And then at the end of the road is what's known as Bistro Bang. We're going to eat there tonight. But that's one of the best restaurants in town.
There's another incredible opportunity down here for somebody. It's not right for me, although it's intriguing. I would almost be interested in it, but I could maybe do something with it. But anyway, we're going to look at this because this is a one of a kind. I've never seen another arrangement like this. It's like I said here again, it's got to be for the right person. But if there's a little bit of a Jack Tripper in you, I think this is your place.
That's right. The Three's Company reference will become patently obvious in a minute. But for starters, you walk in here, this main entrance room, you'll count 3 blue doors as you go down here to the left. On the right is table, chairs, some kitchen stuff in the back. There's a big balcony through that curtain there. That's a sliding glass door. Huge balcony back there, at least 10 feet by 30, something like that. Very nice. We'll go out there in a second. But let's start with these rooms because I kind of call these apartments. They all are like an apartment. You got a big bed, you got a seating area, you got a fridge, you got a TV, you got your own bathroom. So it's 3 rooms, 3 bedrooms, but they're all like small little apartments. And not that small either. I'd say they're 35 to 40 square meters. So I call this You Could Live for Free. Because what if you rented the whole place here at the total cost of 10,000 baht? That's right, 10,000 baht for everything. The whole place. That's about 300 US, just a shade over 3, maybe 305, 307, something like that. This would be apartment number 2. Here again, fridge, TV, bathroom, bed, seating area, etc. And all new, all modern, nice marble floors, nothing dilapidated, old, all have air conditioning, so forth and so on. So you rent the whole place. You live, maybe you live in the back one, maybe you live in the front one, whatever. You live in one, and maybe you got a couple buddies. 5,000 a room each. You charge them. They each get their own big room here, 35, 40 square meters, their own bathroom. They have access to the beautiful balcony. We'll go back there next. Of course, the main little hallway and common room here. They've got access to that. There's parking out front, plenty of parking for 3 or 4 vehicles. And you charge them 5,000 baht each. That covers the whole rent. Maybe you pay the electric or something like that. But you basically could live here for free. And or you could do something else. You could do something else creative. I had a couple ideas. Maybe, I don't know. I'll tell you. But this all overlooks a nice wetland here, all the way back over to the big lake.
The back balcony of the house is the real party piece. So the 3 blue doors, they're your apartments. You go straight back, and you have a beautiful balcony overlooking part of the wetlands there. My idea would be to rent that whole place. You get the great big common area, hallway. There's a little seating area. It's more than a hallway. It's like a room, but a very wide hallway. You get that. You get the back bedroom. Take that for yourself. And you have direct access to the balcony. The balcony is at least 10 by 20. you have that. And then the other two you rent. You rent the other two. You find, I don't know, whoever. Maybe a couple lovely ladies looking for a place to stay. They want their own place. You can maybe give them a room for 2,000-3,000 baht a month. There you go. You pay 10 for the whole thing. Even if you rent the rooms out for 3,500 each, which you could get more than that, you could get double that. But if you rented them out for 3,500 each, it's 7,000 baht. You're only on the hook for 3,000 baht. You're living like a king for 3,000 baht. Right on this lake. Beautiful view. Great big balcony. I guess you split the electric. I don't know. There's a plethora of things that could be done. I could just rent it and rent all three of them out. I could rent it and gamble that I could make more renting the 3 units out, either daily, nightly, weekly, monthly, whatever, that I would collect higher gross rents than what it cost me to rent the whole thing. I don't know. But you just don't see arrangements like that. And you guys probably have a better idea. Somebody out there probably even has a better idea. What would you do with that place, with those 3 nice rooms? Each room's like the size of a nice apartment. You know, a small efficiency type apartment without a kitchen, but you can cook out on the balcony. They've got a rice pot in there. They've got a little gas propane burner. They got all that stuff. And if you're a fisherman, go and wet a line. We're going to go and eat tonight in there. Our friends fresh back from the U.S. But it's right here. So literally you can stumble out of your little pool villa or your hut, your house, whatever, your apartment, and right into the restaurant. It's very nice. So Swiss is a little bit funny. It's like half German, half French. They've got cordon bleu, which definitely is French, but that comes with the pommes frites or French fries. So I'm going to have the cordon bleu. They got German beers here, like real legit German beer that you really don't see many places, including HB, which if you say it the right way, I think the Germans pronounce that Habe. But that's a good beer. I've had that before, I believe, in Munich. And Paulander, very common. Everybody's got Paulander, the Pilsner, and the Weiss. So good beer selection if you like European German beers and French food. I had a really good duck l'orange here before. That would be more on the French side as well. So Swiss, it's kind of in between. Danke, Fräulein. I got a Filipino beer and a German restaurant in Thailand. That's living. Like Lon got the big salad. The big salad.
That's right, the big salad. Hey, you only live once. Why not splurge a little bit? That looks nice as well. Some kind of pork with gravy, big old side of hash browns with that. Of course, Lon's big salad. I believe my other buddy down at the other end of the table got the ribs. I had that the last time, so that's why I opted for the cordon bleu. So here's my cordon bleu. It's pork, not chicken. So it's 2 pork patties, and then if you cut that open, inside is the ham and the cheese all layered and melting and oozing out. So a great evening there at the Bistro Bang, but tomorrow morning, it's back to business. That's right, they're actually kind of removing or dismantling a temporary pier that was put out here on the beach. It's funny that this correlates directly with the first day of winter. The first day of winter here, as I film that, looks like the backhoe has got that out from the deep. But I really feel a difference. I feel the air is a little bit cooler, but I also you can see how calm the sea is. It's been weeks, months of choppy seas, breezy, lots of rain. Now it's nice and calm. blue skies, sunny days, and that corresponds directly with them getting rid of this pier. So maybe that was put up, it seems like just yesterday it was put there. It's only been a couple months. Maybe that was, put up knowing that for high season, at the beginning of the high season, it would be dismantled. I'm not sure. But they're taking it all apart. You see these sometimes at the islands. When you go to the islands, they use them for little gangplanks. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the episode. There's something else next time. But for this one, here at the beginning of winter, gotta leave it off right here.
And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.